global happenings today. We communicate, we analyze global news. Stay tuned.
Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to our channel. Some few hours ago, the former Bayelsa State governor visited the suspended governor of Rivers State, similarly Fubara, and a lot of things were discussed. Of course, it was not made public at the beginning; it was quite private. By Rivers State suspended governor's house, that's Fubara's house, private residence in Rivers State. But he decided to make public what they discussed, what line of actions Fubara is taking just about now, and what has been going on behind the scene that most Nigerians do not know. He made it very public, which I'm going to share with you in a moment. My colleague is also in the house. But as we speak, the sole administrator, Ibasite, retired admiral, have gone ahead. He has sworn in the 23 local government administrators, despite the outcry that it is illegal, unconstitutional. They've even gone as far as one of them has gone down to Obiakpo and started bringing down the flags and all that, already moving in and trying to bring in his structure. Quite wonderful, I must say. But right now, let's go dive into the newspaper to find out what's going on. The former Bayelsa State Governor and Senator representing Bayelsa West visited Rivers State Governor Siminalayi Fubara in his residence in Port Harcourt, sent out a passionate appeal to all parties in Rivers' political debacle to work towards a peaceful and equitable resolution of the situation. He commended the calmness of the governor in the middle of the political storm and Rivers people on both sides of the divide for maintaining peace and order even in the midst of this extreme and rare political development. This is the full report. It said, some few hours ago, I visited His Excellency Governor Siminalayi Fubara at his residence in Port Harcourt. We discussed the extreme political development in the state in the last couple of weeks. I appreciated his calmness and peaceful disposition in the midst of unprecedented turbulence. In our frank conversation, which was private, he expressed confidence in the ability of the institutions and leadership of the country to do what is right. And so do I. I want to commend the good people of Rivers State on both sides for maintaining peace and order even in the midst of this extreme and rare political development, as I have seen that while the state appears peaceful, it may very well be the peace of a graveyard, which any little trigger can alter the balance of peace in the state and across the region. In this regard, I want to appeal to all our people, the youth of Rivers State, and in particular the youth of Ijaw Nation in Rivers State and across the Niger Delta, that's from Arogbo in Ondo State to Ibino in Akwa Ibom State, to continue to be peaceful and resist any provocation or incitement to violence. They should refrain from violence and destructive tendencies, particularly the destruction and vandalization of strategic oil and gas infrastructure in the region, which has the tendency to cause further pollution damage to our already compromised environment, slow down the pace of economic development and activities in the region, and create physical challenges for government at all levels in the country, especially at this time when the global economy is experiencing unprecedented instability with consequences for all nations. On account of the above, I urge all stakeholders to place the overall well-being of Rivers State, its people, the Niger Delta region, and the entire country in their decisions, utterances, and actions. I also urge the sole administrator, who himself is a highly decorated and respected military veteran from the Niger Delta region, to refrain from actions that do not build confidence and aid a quick and amicable resolution of the crisis. I commend the security forces for keeping peace in the region and urge them to continue to work with stakeholders and constituted authorities to do so, even in Rivers State and across the region. I call on the President to prevail on stakeholders, especially my brother, the FCT Minister, the Governor, Siminalayi Fubara, to find a common ground for tolerance and accommodation for a quick resolution. And as I have always said, there are no perfect fathers and sons. We must learn to tolerate and manage one another in spite of our imperfections, and always remember the unique relationship that have been built over the years, which has led to the emergence of the governor. It is always the divine prerogative of fathers to tolerate and forbear for the overall interest of all. On the part of the president, I would like to state that Ijaw Nation is not at war with the federal government or with the president, and we are looking up to him as the leader of the nation to lead in the resolution of the issues and restore normalcy and democratic rule. I call on all leaders from Niger Delta and the state and national level to play an active part in the resolution of this issue. The Ijaw Nation is not at war with the president or the APC-led federal government. On the contrary, the Niger Delta and the Ijaw Nation have always stood for a structured and truly federal Nigeria where power is properly devolved and accelerated infrastructure and human capital development, environmental justice, and fairness for all, and an inclusive Nigeria. On all these issues, we are encouraged to see the president as a partner from his antecedent and not a foe, irrespective of party differences, as some may portray. Wow, talks about peace, and my colleague is in the house. The fact that he believes that Fubara also believes that the leadership will do what is right. Well, which means he believes that Ibo Ete Ibas is here on a right judgment. But I sincerely believe that he doesn't want to join issues. I also believe also that Fubara doesn't want to say things that could be inciting or that could indict him. So he wants a situation where they will just probably begin saying it. I think if you ask me, Fubara seems to be at peace with his creator and is at peace with himself and at peace with everything around him. Those who are making noise for their own, because to tell you the truth, he has nothing to lose. What do you make of this statement made by Fubara?
Well, Fubara is a very peaceful person. And being a peaceful person, it means you understand the fact that this is only a game. Don't forget that at one time he had advised Wike that you must not always win all. We win to lose, we lose to win. So sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. And for you to behave as though you understand that this is not just is not a game of life. It's not as if those who are outside politics are all dead. For the fact that I am today being hoisted out of that position as a governor does not mean that I am dead. I can still continue with my life and I live very well. I've gotten honor, and during the time I was out there, I did my best, So he understands that this is just a game. And for that reason, I must not inflame the whole world. I must not inflame River State. I must not put flame every way, cause chaos, and all of that. But then it's important for a true Democrat to air his mind, just like what we've seen the likes of Aline Dume doing. It goes beyond just a game. This is the making of a future. This is the making of the life of a people. So no matter what, no matter how calm and how your disposition is very calm and all, this is not a case that is in court. You still have the right to point out the fact that what is happening in Rivers State is outrightly unconstitutional. You need to say it. Because as at this point, it seems as though you're comfortable with the fact that someone can just hoist out a Democrat and bring in a military person who is not the choice of the people. Democracy revolves around the people. Yes, there can be extreme situations that demand the intervention of, the military emergency role. But then, if, according to the Constitution, it must get to the extreme whereby you see it happen. Like as we are talking right now, we know what is happening in Ogun State. We know what is happening in Borno State. It's far more severe than whatever that had happened in Rivers State, which caused this whole thing. So Fubara at first has failed the people because it clearly shows that he's not a true Democrat. And secondly, his quiet disposition, I'm not talking about you have to carry banner, go war around and all of that. But you must come to a point whereby you let people know that even though I am quiet over what is going on in the state, but I must look at the president in the face, because I believe that maybe there's some few things that he's getting scared of, and possibly EFCC will come after me. But if I am quiet, see, just like this guy said, if you talk, you die. If you don't talk, you still die. So why don't you talk? When the set time is right, as far as I'm concerned, Wike has not gotten the best of this whole fight. If today it happened that Wike becomes the president of Nigeria, which most people will shout, God forbid, Fubara will pay for all his sins. You understand? So, unfortunately, Fubara has taken a position which most people are not happy with, because you've not come out to say your mind in respect to this, which means you're okay with it.
All right, let's go wrap